Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Tahmid Kubir, and I, along with my group members, will be presenting an in-depth analysis of spyware. First, let me introduce my group members. Myself, Tahmid Kubir, with Al Abdullah Mahmoud Mugdo, Shibli Noman Sani, and Muntasir Mahmoud. In this presentation, we will cover the definition, types, operation, and impact of spyware, concluding with future trends and real-world case studies. I hope you find this analysis insightful. Let's begin with an overview of spyware. Let's start with the basic. What is spyware? Spyware is malware or malicious software designed to infiltrate computers and gather information about individuals or organizations without their knowledge or consent. This type of software can monitor and record various activities, including keystrokes, browsing habits, and personal information, which it then sends to a third party. Spyware is a significant threat to privacy and security, making it essential to understand and defend against it. Now let's explore the different types of spyware. First, we have keyloggers. Keyloggers record every keystroke made by a user to capture passwords, credit card numbers, and other sensitive information they can type on. An example of this is the Zeus Trojan keylogger. Next, we have tracking cookies, which monitor and record users' browsing habits and story to build profiles for advertising purposes or to sell the data of the user. An example of this type of spyware is adware, which is very annoying for us, which we see in our browser. Another spyware is system monitors. System monitors captures various activities on the system, including screenshots, email content, chat conversation, and more. A known example of system monitors is cool web search. An irritating spyware which we face in daily life is adware. Adware displays unwanted advertisements on the user's device, often redirecting browsers to malicious sites. Fireball is a well-known example of adware. Another very dangerous spyware, and which is very known is the Trojan horse. Trojan horses are disguised as legitimate software but can create backdoors for unauthorized access and control. Emotet is a notorious example of a Trojan horse. Understanding these types helps us recognize the various ways spyware can infiltrate and affect our system. Next, we have purpose and high-level features of spyware. Spyware is designed to gather data from victims' device to malicious purpose such as identity theft, financial fraud, or corporate espionage. By infiltrating a device, spyware can collect sensitive information like login credentials, financial data, and personal communications, and more. This collected data is then used for various malicious activities, including stealing identities, committing financial fraud, or gaining competitive advantages through corporate espionage. Understanding these purposes highlights the severe impact spyware can have on individuals and organizations. So this is very important for us. Now, let's discuss some high-level feature of spyware. First, we have stealth mode operation. Spyware operates in the background to avoid detection by the user and security software. This stealth mode allows it to remain hidden and continue its malicious activities without alerting the victim, which makes it very unique and dangerous. Then we have data collection and exfiltration. Spyware collects various types of data, including keystrokes, browsing habits, and personal information. This data is then transmitted to remote servers controlled by the attacker or individuals, enabling them to use it for malicious purposes. Then we have a feature called remote control capabilities. Spyware often allows attackers to control the victim's device remotely. This enables them to manipulate important files, install additional malware, or monitor user activities in real time, furthering their control and exploitation of the infected system. These features highlight the dangerous capabilities of spyware and the need for robust security measures to protect against it. Now, let's dive into the background information of spyware. We will explore the origins of spyware, how it has evolved over time, and its impact on individuals and organizations. Let's take a look at the history of spyware and how it was evolved over the years. We begin with early beginnings, which is in late 1990s. Spyware started appearing with the rise of internet and increased use of personal computers. Initially, spyware was relatively simple, primarily used for basic data collection like logging keystrokes and tracking browsing habits. But in 2020s, as internet uses grow, spyware become more sophisticated and prevalent. Companies began using spyware for advertising purposes, leading to a rise in adware. Notable early spyware programs included Gator. Later, it was renamed in Claria and Full Web Search. In the timeline of 2010 to present, in recent years, we have seen the development of advanced spyware like Finfisher and Pegasus, which are used for targeted surveillance by the government and organizations. There has been an increase in the use of spyware for cyber espionage and stated sponsored attacks. Additionally, the emergence of a mobile spyware targeting smartphones and tablets has become a significant concern for us. Now, let's explore the evolution of spyware. During the initial phase, basic keyloggers and tracking cookies were used to gather simple data like keystrokes and browsing habits. Next, as spyware evolved over time, it became more complex, capable of comprehensive data collection. This included capturing screenshots, recording emails, chat conversation, monitoring yourself, and monitoring system activities. Now, in recent times, modern spyware employs advanced techniques to avoid detection, such as rootkits and sophisticated persistence mechanisms. It can remotely control infected devices, access microphones and cameras, and even evade modern cybersecurity defenses, which is very concerning. In the modern era, spyware specifically designed for mobile devices has emerged, exploiting vulnerabilities in iOS and Android operating systems. There's also an increased focus on targeting specific individuals, such as journalists, activities, and political figures, using spyware for surveillance and data extraction for personal gain. This evolution highlights the growing sophistication and danger of spyware as it adapts to new technologies and targets. That concludes my part of presentation. From the next slide, my teammate Mahmoud will present on the topic technical design and working principles of spyware. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Mahmoud. In this presentation, I will talk about the technical design and working principles and some common techniques of spyware. Let's dive into the working principles of spyware. Spyware operates through three main stages: installation, operation, and data transmission. Installation. Spyware operates by first installing itself on the target device. It is often installed via bundled software, exploit kits, or malicious email attachment. Bundled software includes spyware with legitimate application, exploiting users' trust. Exploit kits and malicious email attachment trick user into installing the spyware, leveraging vulnerabilities in the system. Operation. Once installed, spyware operates in the background, collecting data like keystrokes, screenshots, and browsing history. It uses techniques to maintain persistence, such as modifying system files, adding entries to the system registry, or using rootkits to hide its presence. This persistence ensures continuous data collection. Data transmission. Data transmission is a crucial part of spyware functionality. The collected information is periodically sent to the attacker or waits for specific triggers like device connecting to the internet. This transmission often occurs over encrypted channels, ensuring that the data transfer remains undetected by security systems. Common techniques of spyware. Common technique of spyware includes infection methods, which are the OS gets into the device, and persistence mechanisms, which are the techniques spyware use to stay hidden and active on the device. Infection methods. Spyware can infect devices through several methods. Phishing involves sending emails or messages that appear legitimate, containing malicious links or attachments. Other infection methods are bundling with software tricks, malvertising, drive-by downloads, social engineering, and exploiting software vulnerabilities. Phishing. Phishing is a prevalent method of spyware infection. Attackers send emails or messages that appear to be from legitimate sources, containing malicious links or attachments. When the victim clicks on the link or opens the attachments, spyware is downloaded and installed on the device. Bundling with software. Spyware is often bundled with legitimate software applications. Users unknowingly install the spyware when they download and install the primary software, which is commonly free software or software from untrusted sources. This method takes advantage of user trust in the software they intend to install. Malvertising. Malvertising involves placing malicious advertisements on legitimate websites. When user clicks on these ads, they are redirected to a malicious website that install spyware on their device. In some cases, simply viewing the ad can trigger the download of spyware, making this highly effective infection method. Drive-by downloads. Drive-by downloads occur when users visit compromised or malicious websites. The websites exploit vulnerabilities in the user's browser or plugins to automatically download and install spyware without their knowledge. This method does not require any action from the user, making it particularly insidious. Social engineering. Social engineering manipulates users into performing action or divulging confidential information. Attackers trick users into downloading spyware disguised as legitimate software updates. This method preys on human psychology and trust to achieve its goals. Exploiting software vulnerabilities. Spyware can exploit vulnerabilities in operating systems, browsers, or other software. Attackers use these vulnerabilities to gain access to the system and install spyware. Regular software updates and patches are crucial to defending against this method of infection. This is all about my presentations. Thanks for your patience. My next team member, Muntasir Mamun Nahid, will continue from the various persistence mechanism of spyware.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Muntasir Mamun. Welcome to our in-depth analysis on spyware. Now we will be diving into the intricate world of spyware, exploring various mechanisms it uses to persist and evade detection. So let's get started. Spyware is notoriously difficult to remove, thanks to its clever persistent mechanisms. Let's take a closer look at some of the key methods spyware uses to maintain its grip on an infected system. First, we have auto-start entries. Spyware often modifies the system's auto-start entries, ensuring it runs automatically every time the system boots up. This allows the spyware to consistently monitor and steal data without interruption. Next, we encounter rootkit techniques. Rootkits are particularly insidious because they modify the operating system to hide the presence of spyware. This makes detection and removal extremely challenging. Another technique is process injection. Here, spyware injects its malicious code into legitimate running processes. This clever disguise helps it blend in with normal system activities, avoiding suspicion. We also have fileless malware. Unlike traditional malware, some spyware operates entirely in system memory, leaving no traces on the hard drive. This makes it incredibly difficult for traditional antivirus programs to detect. Lastly, spyware often makes use of legitimate tools. By leveraging legitimate system tools and administrative features, spyware can maintain persistence and carry out its malicious activities under the radar. This technique highlights the sophistication and adaptability of modern spyware, making it a formidable threat in the realm of cybersecurity. Now that we have covered the various persistent mechanisms, let's move on to a demonstration of these features in action. In this demonstration, we will see how spyware implements these techniques to stay hidden and continue its operations. Now let's take a look at a practical example of a keylogger in action. On the left side, we see the interface of a keylogger application called All-in-One Keylogger, which is showing us the setting of a keylogger. In the control panel, we can see various settings. General settings includes run when Windows starts to ensure that keylogger activates at boot, hide entry from the Windows startup list to avoid detection, hide program tray icon to operate without drawing attention. Always on top and hide program folder while running to remain unnoticed. Hide program process from task manager to event detection. The status login indicates active recording. This setup shows how keyloggers can capture sensitive information stealthily. Let's move on the right side of the image of the screen to see how a keylogger captures and records user actions. The left panel navigates through logs like view logs by date and view keystrokes. In the main panel, logs for ME include timestamps and activities. For example, at 22:21:44, ME was using Windows Live Messenger. Below the main log, there is a section capturing the exact keystrokes. We can see a snippet of a conversation where ME is messaging someone named Bob. This log captures every word typed, allowing the attacker to read private messages, passwords, and other sensitive information. This detailed logging capability highlights the potency of keyloggers in capturing a wide range of user activities. Next, let's look at how Spyware captures screenshots of a user's screen. This slide shows a screenshot capture spyware tool in action. The left panel lists monitored computers in real time. Each entry represents a track computer. In the main panel, we see a screenshot of a user's desktop. Highlighted areas and tooltips guide us through features like click to view recorded history, allowing the attackers to review captured screenshots and activities. Another feature is click a computer to start monitoring in real time, enabling live screenshot capture. The right panel, titled Dashboard, offers options for managing monitoring, such as viewing logs, sending messages, and remote control actions. This capability is particularly dangerous as it allows attackers to visually monitor everything on the victim's screen, including sensitive information like emails and documents. Finally, let's explore browsing history tracking. This tool shows a detailed table of visited websites, page views, and duration spent. For example, Amazon.ca has 20 page views and 27 minutes of uses. The left panel offers options like dashboards and screenshots. At the bottom, a screenshot timeline provided a visual record of activities. The right panel shows users and computers being monitored, indicating extensive surveillance capabilities. This image highlights the invasive capabilities of browsing history tracking spyware, showing how it can provide a detailed and comprehensive view of a user's internet uses. It underscores the critical importance of safeguarding our online activities to protect our privacy from such intrusive threats. This concludes my part of the presentation. Thanks a lot for your patience, and I am referring to my friend Shibrino Mansani for the next part of the presentation. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Shibli Mansani. I am going to discuss our case study portion, which is the analysis of the Bangladesh Bank heist in 2016 using the combination of spyware, keylogger, and Swift client. The analysis lets us split the whole timeline of the attack into three parts basically, and then we will discuss the specifications of the malwares used. Now, let's see what are the phases are. The phases are preparation and execution phase, infiltration and obfuscation phase, execution of the fraud transfers phase. And then this is not the part of the phase, but we will discuss about the specifics of the malwares used. First, let's look at how the attack was prepared and executed. Reconnaissance. The hacker group initiated the attack through a known phishing mail technique, infiltrating the bank's system. The phase was critical for understanding the bank's vulnerabilities and conducting a feasibility study. Next, timing of the attack. The attack began on Thursday, February 4th, 2016, between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. The next morning, this timing was strategic as it coincided with the weekend in Bangladesh, providing the hackers with a longer window to operate undetected. Targeting the Swift system. The attackers used malware called Swift client to gain access to the bank's Swift credentials. This access allowed them to communicate with other banks and financial institutions globally, enabling international fund transfers. Next, let's discuss how the hackers handled information. Malware installation. The attackers installed malware on the bank's computers, allowing them to monitor activity and manipulate data. The malware included spyware and a keylogger, custom built by hacker group based on their reconnaissance. Disabling security. The malware disabled the bank's printers, preventing the automatic printing of transaction records. This delay in the discovery of fraud transfers gave the hackers more time to execute their plan. Now let's move on how the money was transferred. Sending transfer requests. The hackers sent 35 transfer requests via SWIFT system, over estimating over $1 billion from Bangladesh Bank's account. But thankfully, the detection and response measures came into action, and only 5 of these requests were processed, totaling over $100 million. And then let's discuss what were the destinations of the funds. The funds were routed to various accounts in Philippines and Sri Lanka, and then the money was moved through casinos and other establishments to obscure this trade. Okay, let's look at the specifics of the malware used. Custom malware Swift. The attackers used custom-built malware to manipulate the bank's Swift software and bypass security measures. Functionality. The malware intercepted and modified outgoing Swift messages. Next, spyware. Before the attack, the attackers used spyware extensively, and for this extensive use of spyware, they were able to grasp many important information about the behavior and the bank's activities. Next, keylogger. The keylogger was installed on a machine to steal credentials. Okay, so what we get from this case study: the Bangladesh Bank cyber heist was a sophisticated and well-planned attack. It involved meticulous preparation, strategic execution, and advanced malware. So, what are the let us now discuss what are the limitations of spyware. Spywares can be detected. Now, let's look at the mechanisms of detection. Signature based detection. Anti-malware tools can detect spyware by matching its code against a database of known spyware signatures. Heuristic analysis. This method analyzes program behavior to spot suspicious activities. Real-time scanning. Anti-malware tools scan files in real time as they were downloaded, executed, and modified. Sandboxing. Advanced tools use sandboxing to run suspicious files in a controlled environment, observing their behavior to identify spyware without risking the actual system. Now, isn't there anything we can do about it? Of course, let's look at the countermeasures. Regular software updates. Keep all the software up to date to patch vulnerabilities. Use of anti-malware software. Install and regularly update a reputable anti-malware softwares. Firewalls. Use firewalls to block unauthorized communications. Safe browsing practices. Avoid suspicious links and downloads from untrusted sources. Regular backups. Maintain regular backups. User education and awareness. Educate users on recognizing and avoiding spyware threats. That's the end of my portion. I will now redirect the presentation to my teammate Tahmid Kobir to cap off the presentation. Thank you.
Hi, it's Tahmid Kabir. Welcome to our presentation again. Now that we have covered all the key aspects of spyware, it's time to bring it together and summarize our presentation. Let's start quickly recap what we have covered in our presentation on spyware. We have covered overview of spyware. We started by defining spyware and its key types, including keyloggers, tracking cookies, system monitors, adware, and Trojan horses. Then we explained purpose and features, why spyware is created, focusing on its malicious purposes such as identity theft, financial fraud, and corporate espionage. We also discussed its common features like stealth mode, data collection, and remote control capabilities. Background information. We then discussed the history of and evolution of spyware, tracing its development from the late 1990s to the present day. Technical design. We described the technical architecture and working principles of spyware, explaining how it infects systems and maintains persistence in our devices. Common techniques. We covered common infection methods and persistence mechanisms, highlighting how spyware infiltrates and stays on the systems. Case study. Finally, we examined the Bangladesh Bank Reserve Heist as a case study to illustrate the real-world impact of spyware, showing its potential for significant financial and security breaches. This comprehensive overview should give you a solid understanding of spyware, its dangers, and the importance of robust cybersecurity measures. Now, let's look at the future trends in spyware and cybersecurity. Increased sophistication. Spyware will become more advanced, leveraging AI and machine learning to evade detection. These technologies will enable spyware to adapt and remain undetected by traditional security measures, which is very concerning. Emerging threats. We can expect new types of spyware targeting emerging technologies such as mobile devices, the Internet of Things, and the cloud services. As these platforms become more integrated in our daily lives, they present new opportunities for attackers. Enhanced detection. On the positive side, there will be continued improvements in anti-malware technologies and user awareness. Advanced detection methods and proactive security measures will help combat the evolving threat of spyware. These future trends highlight the ongoing arms race between spyware developers and cybersecurity professionals. Staying informed and vigilant is crucial to protecting our systems and data. In conclusion, spyware is constantly evolving, becoming more sophisticated and harder to detect. Impact. The Bangladesh Bank Reserve Heist highlights the severe impact a spyware can have, demonstrating the potential for significant financial and security breaches. Future threats. Future threats will increasingly target mobile devices, IoT, and cloud devices, making it imperative to stay ahead of these evolving dangers. Proactive measures. Proactive measures are essential in combating spyware. These include advanced detection technology and continuous user education and awareness. Safeguarding against future spyware attacks is critical. By staying informed, adopting robust security measures, and educating users, we can better protect our systems and data for these malicious threats. That's all from us. We will provide our presentation video link here. Thank you for your attention. We hope this presentation has provided you with valuable insights into the nature and dangers of spyware and the importance of proactive cybersecurity measures. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.